The day begins not with the sun, but with a soft artificial glow. It's the light from a smartphone screen, checked for notifications before our feet even touch the floor. In kitchens across America, tablets display recipes while smart speakers recite the day's weather and news. Children sit at breakfast tables, their faces illuminated by cartoons on a screen, a digital pacifier to ensure a quiet meal. This scene repeats itself in millions of homes. We have invited technology into our most intimate spaces. It is no longer just a tool we use for specific tasks. It has become a constant companion, a silent, ever-present member of the family, shaping the rhythm and texture of our daily existence. This digital saturation extends far beyond our front doors. In schools, laptops have replaced notebooks, and lessons are delivered through interactive whiteboards. Students learn to code before they learn cursive, their collaboration happening across shared documents instead of shared desks. Then, we move into the workplace. Our offices are ecosystems of constant connection, where productivity is measured in emails sent, video calls attended, and statuses updated on project management software. The modern American professional is tethered to their work through a digital leash, a smartphone that buzzes with demands long after the traditional workday has ended. Technology promises efficiency, but it also demands our perpetual attention, blurring the lines between labor and life. Consider the simple act of navigating our world. We no longer pull over to ask for directions. We listen to a disembodied voice from our GPS. We don't browse record store aisles. An algorithm curates a playlist for our commute. When we want to meet someone new, we swipe through profiles on a dating app. Every small friction of daily life, every moment that once might have required human interaction or patient thought, now has a technological solution. We have outsourced so many of our cognitive and social tasks to our devices. This seamless integration is sold to us as progress, a frictionless life. But we must ask what is lost when the friction, the effort, and the human connection are smoothed away by an app. Even our leisure is mediated by screens. After a long day of staring at a computer for work, we come home to relax by staring at another screen. A television for streaming, a console for gaming, or a social media feed for scrolling. We connect with friends through text messages and video chats, even when they live just a few miles away. The American landscape is now a dual reality, the physical world we inhabit, and the digital one where we increasingly live our lives. This digital layer is not an escape from reality. For many, it has become the primary reality. The glow is everywhere, a constant, luminous hum that defines the modern American experience from morning until night. There's no denying the profound ways technology has simplified and enriched our lives. It acts as a powerful servant, ready to obey our every command. With a few taps on a screen, we can access the vast library of human knowledge, answering a child's curious question in seconds. We can manage our finances, book a doctor's appointment, and order groceries without ever leaving our homes. For those with mobility issues or those living in remote areas, these digital tools are not just conveniences. They are lifelines that provide access to essential services and community. This power to collapse distance and democratize information is a remarkable achievement, making daily life more manageable and efficient for millions. This digital servant also fosters connection in ways that were once unimaginable. A grandmother in Florida can watch her grandchild in California take their first steps via a live video call, bridging a gap of thousands of miles. Old friends, separated by life's divergent paths, can reconnect and sustain their bond through social media platforms. Online communities provide solace and solidarity for people with rare diseases or niche interests, creating spaces where they feel understood and less alone. Technology offers us a promise of togetherness, a way to maintain relationships and build new ones despite the physical barriers that separate us. It helps us feel part of a larger whole, a global village connected by fiber optic cables. However, the servant can quickly become the master. The same smartphone that connects us to loved ones also chains us to our work, delivering stressful emails at all hours. The social media feed that shows us pictures of a friend's vacation also bombards us with curated images of perfection, fueling anxiety and social comparison. The very design of these technologies encourages overuse. Infinite scrolling, push notifications, and algorithmically generated content are engineered to capture and hold our attention for as long as possible. We pick up our phones to check one thing and emerge from a digital rabbit hole 45 minutes later, wondering where the time went. The tool designed to serve us begins to dictate our behavior. This constant connectivity creates a new kind of mental burden. The expectation to be always available, always responsive, leads to a state of perpetual alertness. We are never truly off. This makes it incredibly difficult to disconnect, to be fully present in the moment, or to simply be alone with our own thoughts. A teenager I spoke with, an avid social media user, explained it perfectly. I feel like I have to be on all the time. If I don't post, people will forget I exist. If I don't respond right away, they'll think I'm mad. This pressure to perform and participate creates a low-grade, constant stress, a feeling that we are failing if we are not constantly engaged with the digital world. The compulsion to constantly use technology is not simply a matter of weak willpower, it is a response to deeply ingrained psychological and social pressures. At its core, our devices tap into fundamental human needs, the need for social connection, for information, and for validation. Every like on a photo, every positive comment, every new follower delivers a small hit of dopamine, the brain's pleasure chemical. Technology companies have become masters of variable rewards, the same principle that makes slot machines so addictive. We keep pulling the digital lever, refreshing our feed, never knowing when we will get the next small reward, and that uncertainty keeps us coming back for more. Professionally, the pressure to stay connected is immense and often explicit. In many modern careers, being unplugged is seen as being unproductive or uncommitted. The expectation is that emails will be answered outside of traditional work hours and that colleagues will be reachable at a moment's notice. A project manager in his 40s told me, "I sleep with my phone next to my bed. The first thing I do when I wake up is check for overnight emails from our international teams. If I don't, I feel like I'm already behind before the day has even started." This culture turns our devices into symbols of professional diligence, making it feel irresponsible or even risky to disconnect for any meaningful length of time. Beyond the workplace, there is a pervasive social fear of missing out, often called FOMO. Social media platforms are designed to be showcases of life's highlights, parties, exotic vacations, career achievements, and happy relationships. Constantly viewing these curated streams can create a nagging feeling that everyone else is living a more exciting and fulfilling life. This anxiety drives a cycle of compulsive checking. We look at our phones to see what others are doing, which in turn makes us feel pressured to post our own highlights to keep up. We become both the audience and the performer in a never-ending digital play, a role that can be utterly exhausting. Furthermore, our devices have become our default response to any moment of stillness or boredom. Waiting in line at the grocery store, sitting in a doctor's waiting room, or riding the bus. These were once moments for quiet reflection, for daydreaming, or for observing the world around us. Now they are opportunities to pull out a phone. We have trained ourselves to seek stimulation the instant we feel a void. A young college student confessed, "I don't think I've been truly bored in years. The second I feel it coming on, I just grab my phone. It's like an automatic reflex." We have become uncomfortable with unstructured time, filling every empty space with digital noise. The line between healthy use and addiction can be, well, kind of blurry, but the signs of a problematic relationship with technology are becoming increasingly clear. It often manifests as a loss of control. People find themselves spending far more time on their devices than they intend, often at the expense of other important activities. They might promise themselves they'll only check social media for 5 minutes, only to look up and realize an hour has passed. This is often followed by feelings of guilt or regret, yet the behavior continues. One adult I interviewed described it as a digital fog, a state where he scrolls mindlessly without any real enjoyment, simply acting out of habit. This dependence has tangible impacts on our real-world relationships. We see it in the phenomenon of phubbing, snubbing someone you are with in favor of your phone. It happens at family dinners, on dates, and during conversations with friends. When our attention is divided, our ability to empathize and connect on a deep level suffers. Conversations become shallow and fragmented, punctuated by the buzz of notifications. A teenager lamented, "I try to talk to my parents about my day, but they're half listening while looking at their phones. It makes me feel like I'm not as important as whatever is happening on that screen." We are physically present, but mentally and emotionally, we are elsewhere. We are, in essence, alone together. Simple statistics paint a stark picture of our attachment. The average American adult spends several hours per day on their mobile device, and for teenagers, that number is often significantly higher. Research shows that a majority of smartphone users check their device within the first 15 minutes of waking up. We carry these devices with us everywhere, from the boardroom to the bathroom. This constant proximity creates a state of hypervigilance. The mere presence of a phone on a table, even if it is turned off, has been shown to decrease the quality of a conversation. It represents a world of potential interruptions, a constant pull away from the here and now. The emotional toll of this dependence is significant. When separated from their devices, many people report feeling anxious, agitated, or even phantom vibrations, the sensation of a phone buzzing when it is not. This anxiety stems from a fear of being disconnected, of missing something important. A young woman described the feeling of leaving her phone at home by accident. It felt like I had lost a part of myself. I was on edge all day, constantly wondering what messages or notifications I was missing. It was a terrible naked feeling. This emotional reliance signals that the device is no longer just a tool, it has become a psychological anchor. The benefits of our digital world are undeniable. We have instant access to information, powerful tools for creativity, and new ways to connect with people across the globe. These technologies allow us to learn a new skill on YouTube, to find community with fellow hobbyists, or to work flexibly from anywhere. The goal is not to demonize technology, or to advocate for a complete retreat from the digital sphere. To do so would be to ignore the immense good it can do. The challenge lies not in rejecting our tools, but in learning to control them, ensuring they serve our intentions rather than shaping them without our consent. The drawbacks, however, demand our serious attention. The constant stream of information leads to cognitive overload and stress. The curated perfection of social media can damage self-esteem and foster envy. Perhaps most importantly, our deep immersion in screens can erode our capacity for solitude, deep conversation, and focused thought. When we are always connected, we sacrifice the quiet moments where self-reflection and creativity flourish. We trade the richness of face-to-face interaction, with all its subtle nonverbal cues, for the flattened communication of a text message. The central question we must now face is, have we become so connected to our devices that we are disconnected from ourselves and each other? Reclaiming our attention requires conscious and deliberate effort. It begins with creating small, intentional breaks from technology. One practical step is to establish tech-free zones or times in our homes, such as making the dinner table or the bedroom a screen-free space. This allows for the return of uninterrupted conversation and restful sleep. Another powerful strategy is to turn off non-essential notifications. By curating what is allowed to interrupt us, we take back control over our focus. We decide what is truly urgent rather than letting every app developer make that decision for us. These small acts of digital hygiene can have a profound impact on our mental well-being. Ultimately, the path forward involves a personal and collective reevaluation of our relationship with technology. We must encourage ourselves and our children to cultivate a healthy skepticism toward the digital world, to question the time we spend on our screens and what we are sacrificing for it. This means scheduling time to be unplugged, just as we schedule meetings and appointments. It means rediscovering the joy of boredom and allowing our minds to wander. Taking a walk without a podcast, sitting in a cafe without scrolling, or simply observing the world around us are not empty moments. They are essential for a rich inner life. It's time to look up from our screens and ask ourselves what we truly want from them.